Hey guys, I just want to do a quick update here. KO Fox very recently, 8 minutes ago, as a matter of fact, put out this post here. And I've been kind of trying to do something a little bit similar to this and talk about these issues that we're, discussing a lot in the community about the changes that are coming to Enlisted. And KO Fox actually just put this post out and really did a great job of explaining why certain solutions don't work the way that people might necessarily want them to. And he also did a great job of clearing up a lot of the problems that people might have. So then, we're all on the exact same page and we can go forward. So I'm just going to run through it really quickly. And of course, hats off to KO Fox for putting this out. Because again, it's a really clear and concise way of explaining the problems and the issues that people are kind of having here. So first off, he mentioned here, it's really great that we all care. It's great that we're criticizing. And, he wants to, have people explain a little bit more why they dislike the problems. I think that this is kind of coming from like a place of I've seen a lot of memes that are just kind of like being really sarcastic and bashing the system and not really getting to the nitty gritty of why a problem is kind of happening. Right. So I think that's kind of what he means here, where he says, I'd like to ask why. Why do you like or dislike ideas that we've listed? And knowing the answer, they'll be able to give better feedback and hopefully solve some of the problems. So that's kind of, I think, what he's getting at there. But as he dives into this here, he wants to clarify some rules that were misunderstood. So will I meet a Tiger 2 in a BT5? No, as long as two simple conditions are met. There are enough players in queue who have weapons and vehicles similar to yours. And he says, we doubt this will be true if we merge all the campaigns. Or we don't doubt, sorry. We don't doubt this will be true if we merge the campaigns. And assuming you don't enjoy suffering so much that you equip like a bunch of late war weapons and then a super early tank, which I promise you I will do, because that'll be fun. But regardless, if you don't want to deal with that, then you don't have to, right? And so this is what it's getting at. Like if we merge the campaigns, there's a lot of people out there who've been saying like, oh, I'm going to be using a Panzer II against an IS-2. No, you won't, right? Like if we merge these campaigns, we will have more than enough players to fill out these queues and have the right players with the right gear against each other. And that's what KO Fox is explaining here. In the updated enlisted, battles will be a lot more balanced. And then he said, will he be sent to Normandy in a BT5? And he says, no. The maps will be united in a single pool, but they will remain tied to participants of the battle that took place there. So if you're the Soviets, you won't find yourself in Normandy, Tunisia, but you'll be fighting in Moscow, Stalingrad, or Berlin. And then he said, well, I'll be able to join a battle under Moscow in your Tiger. And he says, yes, sometimes you will. You'll join a balanced battle against your historical opponent, the Soviets, who will have vehicles that are sometimes or that are meant to be against you, such as the IS-1. There are also many soldiers with powerful anti-tank weapons that will be balanced against each other as well. You'll be fighting, and this is a really important part here, guys. You'll be fighting a historical opponent in one of the historical war theaters with weapons that are historically accurate. The only thing that may not be accurate is the ground beneath your feet. And he admits it's not perfect. They are being completely honest, and they have been completely honest. I think the devs have done exactly what we want them to do here. He says they believe the advantage of the updated enlisted outweigh the abandonment of complete accuracy. And I agree. I 100% agree with that. The only part of that I disagree with is the complete accuracy part, because I don't think Enlisted was historically accurate to begin with before, when we had T-50s or Panzer IV F2s in Moscow. So yeah, I absolutely agree with him that it's not perfect, and there are problems with the system, and they are openly admitting that, but they are agreeing, and I'm agreeing with them, that the advantages outweigh the disadvantages. And he also says that, there aren't many options. Any rule added to the process of matchmaking will severely harm all the advantages of the new system and make the changes meaningless. And this is something that people need to understand. This is a hugely important part of this, because burdening the matchmaking with additional rules is going to basically return us to campaigns in a slightly different way, which is what a lot of people have been kind of recommending. They've been saying, oh, let's just have like different fronts. Let's have different war fronts and different time periods. That's just campaigns dressed up in a different way. And he gives a great example. You've got the most modern setup of the German army, and you're queued up with 1,000 other players. The matchmaking looks at the setup, and it crosses off 600 other players who have weak weapons and vehicles, so they're not you, right? They're not qualified to play against you, so it just crosses them off. In the updated enlisted, it still has 400 players, so easily can throw you together into some matches against those 400 players. So you could play against the Soviets in Moscow, the Soviets in Stalingrad, Berlin, so on and so forth. But if you add a rule where it says, oh, you can only send players to the map that's historically accurate for their weapons, well, then we don't have Moscow, Stalingrad, Tunisia, and we'll be left with just Normandy and Berlin since you're using the modern setup. This will make the updated enlisted system basically exactly what we have now, and it'll make the system harder for you to have balanced matches with balanced weapons and balanced vehicles. And that just doesn't work, right? That's just what we have now, except dressed up a different way. And so he says that's why during the first planning stage, we decided to make the small sacrifice in favor of a game that will be well balanced and diverse with lots of different maps and always full of players. So now KO Fox is saying, why do you like or dislike the new direction that we propose for our huge project? And that's what I want you guys to leave down below. What do you like and what do you dislike? Give an answer for yourself and evaluate the benefits and the possible drawbacks. And leave your opinion. Leave it on the forum post here. Leave it in the comments down below. I'm sure KO Fox and the other helpers are going to check this out. Okay. And again, he is not doing an announcement, anything here. He's just clarifying the updated enlisted and trying to figure out if the downsides are that big of a deal for everyone involved, which is fantastic. This is the exact stuff that I was upset about and a lot of players were upset about a month ago when I called for the boycott of the game. This is the exact thing. The developers are talking with us, having a conversation, and doing what they should be doing. This is fantastic. This is amazing, right? So guys, do your part. The devs have done their part, right? They are looking for feedback. They are asking and clarifying. So now it is our job. It is our part to do what we have to do and leave our feedback. So do that. Leave good feedback. Leave constructive feedback down below and in this forum post. The link's going to be down below in a pinned comment and also in the description, guys. But I wanted to share this with you guys. And yeah, thanks as always for watching, and leave your comments. Seriously, it's important. And I'll see you guys next time. Take it easy.